Let's talk about versioning of products. And before I go into that, I wanted to mention that whenever an organization is using a task management tool, they usually already set up teams and set up projects for product managers to work on. But in case you are in an organization where they don't currently use task management tool, that's where you're required to then sign up for the project management tool that you want to introduce to the team, maybe Jira, Trello, or whatnot. But moving into versioning on Jira, what you need to do to version a product, what I mean by that is you come to the releases part. I already created two versions, versions 1.1 and version 1.0, 1.1. Let me create a new version here so that you can see how I did that. So create version, so version 1.2, and then you can save that. And you can add the description or whatever. So what this versioning does for you is, remember I mentioned that when you are creating a product, you most likely build iteratively because of the product management. You need to be agile. And once you're being agile, you build iteratively. Basically, it means that you release versions of your product one after. You don't release all your product at once. You release different versions of your product. When you build something else, when you build something to fix an issue that was there before, when you are basically releasing a new version of your product. So how exactly do you monitor basically releasing the versions? This is where releases come in. So you can basically just create a version of your product. In creating a version of a product, you can go to your backlog and attest each of these tools or each of these tasks and user stories to a particular version that you want to build. Say for authentication, for example, you can come here and come to this part where it says you can come to this part where it says fixed versions, right? Fixed version. I already put version 1.0. So it means that this is coming out with the first version of my product. If I want to add it to a different version, then pick something that I've not had fixed version to. So fixed version, you can say, oh, this is coming out in version 1.2. This is coming out in version 1.2. I can come here and say, oh, okay, this other one is coming out in version 1.1. So let's fix version. You can say, oh, this coming out in version 1.1. And you come to this other one, say this other product and fix version 1. You can fix version 1.0 there. Now, how exactly does this help you? If you come back to the releases part, let me read. If you come pick the version 1.2, 1.1 rather, let me reload this. So you can see that I have three items on this list that is coming on with the first version. So what I can see is I can see the status of that particular item here, and I can see, oh, okay, this one is yet we are yet to do this, and it's supposed to come out in version 1.1. I'm supposed to 1.0 rather, and I'm supposed to release it in July. So what happened? So the idea is for you to be able to understand that, like, okay, these are the stuff we wanted to go in this version. These are the things that has been done. These are the things that have not been done. So if I come to my board again and I move one of these items to done, sorry, hold on. If I come back to my backlog and I move some of these items to done, I think this is version 1.1, and I come here and I say, okay, this is in progress or something. If I come back to releases and I can come here, you can see that, oh, there's already one item in done. Let me reload this. If I reload this, you can say, oh, this item is done, this other is in progress based on the status. So once all these items are done, you know that, okay, it's time for you to release your product. You're trying to monitor that, okay, these are the particular things that we need to do to get this version out. So that's what basically versioning does for you. So this is where I'm going to be stopping on Jira for you. You are going to learn more as you go, as you get to use it in an organization that you're working in or working with. So what I would expect you to do, or what I want you to do, is take this, create a. I'm not going to ask you to submit this particular thing as an assignment, but I want you to take it, create an account, experiment with it, see what you can do with it, create test accounts, sorry, create test tasks, test user stories. You can create test epics, mess around with the roadmap feature board and all that. Basically, just mess around. What I will, however, ask you to do in the next is for you to create a roadmap, a sample roadmap using Jira. Now, you don't have to use Jira to create a roadmap. I want you to create a roadmap for a basically, I like put it, a basic version of a roadmap for your product that you're trying to build. So basically, just highlight all the features and use maybe like a year period to highlight when in each year you want to build a particular product. Now, on this board, you can also see that what I did with the version, saying, okay, this version is coming end of July, this version is coming end of August, based on the time I had set in my versioning. But I want you to create a basic version of a roadmap. You can use Jira. If you don't want to use Jira, you can basically draw it in a table, put the name of your feature and the release date and maybe a description of the feature. Right. So I want you to draw a simple roadmap in the next in this next quiz. Basically, you need to prioritize and say, okay, this is what we want to do first. After prioritizing, basically draw a roadmap. So that's why I'm going to be ending my video on task management using the Jira software. I would see you in the next video and quizzes.